Welcome to this week's Weapon Brief, brought to you by Battlefield Vegas. Today, we're bringing you to Dragunov.
The SVD, more commonly known as the Dragunov, weighs around 10 pounds with optics. It's gas operated with a rotating bolt. It was put into production from 1963, currently produced today. Fires a 7.62 by 54R at an effective range at about 800 meters. In the 1950s, Yevgeny Dragunov worked for the Arms Design Bureau at a company called Ishmash. He designed a biathlon target rifle that went on to Olympic gold. In 1959, he submitted the SVD to the Soviet military, and in 1963, it was put into service and known as the Dragunov. Today, we've actually got some inside information, if y'all would welcome Alexei.
Thank you, capitalist pig dog Livio.
So how does the Dragunov compare to American sniper rifles?
It is clearly better. It is more moving parts. More moving parts is always better on sniper rifle.
How do you feel about it being chambered in 308?
It's, how do you say, is blasphemy. It's designed for 7.62 54R. Should stay 7.62 54R. There's no reason to change. It's world's best rifle ammunition, fighting itself and winning every time since 1891. It's a good bullet.
All right. What other uses can you find in the Dragunov?
Of course, it's also world's perfect assault rifle. It's 10-round magazine, which means 20, 30 bodies per magazine. You just make sure they line up. You add the bayonet, world's best bayonet. To front, you can pole vault. With your father a meat burglar, here's why I asked. Because it looked like someone stole 2 fine hams and shoved them down the back of your pants.
Here's Sean with a breakdown.
All right, guys, today we're going to go over the breakdown of the Dragunov sniper rifle. This one right here is actually a Tiger. It's made in the Izhmash factory in Russia. Before we take this gun apart, we're going to go ahead and clear it, just like any other firearm. We're going to pull the bolt to the rear and visually and physically inspect the chamber to make sure that it's clear. Now, a lot of misconceptions about this. It's actually misclassified quite a bit. A lot of people say that it's part of the AK family. It's really not. Although there is cosmetically some similarities between the two weapons, this one is nothing like an AK. I would say the only visual characteristic would be the selector lever on the side. The bolt and bolt carrier system is similar with a rotating bolt. But other than that, that's pretty much it. All right, we're going to go ahead and start breaking this down. The first thing we want to do is remove this scope from the mount. There's a lever on the left-hand side right here. You're just going to rotate it to the rear and then slide the scope itself off. So you push this to the rear and slide the scope off. There's another lever on the right-hand side of the receiver. You're going to rotate that one 180 degrees counterclockwise. And then you're going to lift up on this cover. The stamped sheet metal design of this top cover is similar to the AK. That's about all you're going to get. Pulling the bolt to the rear and lifting up from the rear, the bolt and bolt carrier, you're going to rotate the bolt and then pull it straight out of the bolt carrier, just like that. That right there is the last characteristic, I would say, as far as the AK. Some Dragunovs, they had an adjustable gas block, where this one specifically, the Tiger, does not. You had 2 settings in the gas block. This one is actually a gas-operated with a piston-driven system. A few things I wanted to go over about this specific design. The bolt has a free-floating firing pin. Now, in older ammunition, whenever you'd have soft primers or a primer that wasn't completely seated in the pocket all the way, you'd get slam fires with this quite often. So for all you guys at home that own this Dragunov, be sure that when when you're firing your ammunition out of it, that the primers are seated properly and that you have military spec ammo, because these have been known to slam fire quite a bit. Now, the barrel is actually quite an interesting thing. It's got 4 right-hand grooves. In the 1960s, the rifling in it was 1 in 12, but come 1970, they changed the design of the barrel to a 1 in 9 twist rate. That was to accommodate tracer fire ammunition and armor-piercing incendiary. Now, there was some bad things that came along with that. Once they changed the rifling in this weapon, the sniper ammunition that was actually fielded with it lost 20% or so accuracy. So that was one of the bad things that they got, but a lot of their engagements were mainly around 600 meters at the most. I think 1,200 was the longest confirmed kill in Afghanistan by this weapon right here. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get this put back together. It's just going to be the reverse of what we just did. The first thing you want to do is you're going to take your bolt, put your bolt back inside of your carrier, set your bolt carrier back end in first onto the rails, and you're going to push the bolt carrier home until it locks completely into battery. The next thing you want to do is you're going to take your dust cover, insert your recoil spring into the back of your bolt. There's a small notch on the front of this top cover right here. It's going to fit in a slot that's on the upper receiver. Set that in there, and then set your back end down until it clicks in place. That lever that we had talked about before is going to rotate 180 degrees forward until it clicks. The next part is going to be the scope. On the bottom of the scope, there's a half of a rail and then a spring-loaded catch on the bottom of it. You're going to insert this rail that's on the side in this slot right here. From back to front, you're just going to set it on there, making sure that your latch is completely pushed to the back. You're going to slide this forward until it clicks. Slide your notch forward, and you're done. That's it.
All right, guys, here at Battlefield Vegas, when you're shooting the Dragunov, you're going to go ahead and shoulder it. Make sure it's tight in the pocket of your shoulder, not on the outside. Keep your finger high enough off the trigger until you're ready, aim, and ready to shoot your target. Bring your non-firing hand forward. Go ahead and rest your elbow on the bench that's in front of you. Try to place most of the weight of the gun. Let it rest in your hand. Don't squeeze it. Just let it rest in the hand. Put your cheek tight on the pad that's provided for you. Come all the way back and make sure that you're strictly on that pad. Don't be any further forward of it. And look through the sight. Find your reticle. You're going to use the top delta. There's some deltas stacked up on each other in the reticle. The top one has some vertical lines along with it. Probably might not make any sense now, but if you get a chance to look through here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Line that up. Slow, steady breath. Slow, steady squeeze on the trigger. And take your time and have fun, guys. Thanks, brother. You ready to go shoot this thing?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Time for feeling.